Broadcast live.
Mzansi Afrika, kanjani, bantu base Africa. What's up to everybody all over the world? Because we are global like that. Today we are in Hillbrow. We are here to meet up with an amazing creative. His name is Young Stilo. He is so exceptional behind the lens. He's a photographer, but he's also got some pretty dope style. So just here to give him his flowers. But hold on, this episode is in conjunction with Hennessy because they've collaborated with an artist. Her name is Faith. So we've got a book here and we've got a bottle here. So instead of giving Young Stilo his flowers, we're here to give him his cognac. Let's go. To say Hillbrow, rooftop, and I just wanted to chat to one of these young creators that are coming up in the South African game that I've watched grow from a small infant with his creativity to the monster that he is right now. Young Stilo, unjani? Man. Talk to me about when you started photography and yini about photography that grabbed you.
When I started photography, I was like 15.
Sure.
I'm turning 24.
Sure.
So when I started it was, I always used to take pictures like with the phone.
Yeah.
Like every time I take pictures with the phone, edit using PixArt and all that. So that for me, like said, hey, actually, I'm dope with this thing, you know?
Yes, sir.
Let me run with it. Let me get a camera and start like working on new apps like Photoshop and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran with it.
When did it become what it is now? Because uqale phone, how did you even get your first camera? Because a lot of people, especially young kids, will be like, mfana, anginamali camera. I love indlela omuva ngayo because you're not a guy that really sits on the problem. You always find the solution. Well, you're always like that.
Yeah, I'm always like that. I remember my first camera was when my uncle gave me his camera.
Sure.
So he used to be like designer, fashion designer.
Bani kamele uncle yakho?
Lawrence.
Yo, Lawrence Fitz, Sibongile Fitz. You don't understand how important these little small details are. Everybody always thinks you need to have R1 million to change someone's life. Sometimes it's just being there and giving the kid a camera. Continue, my neck.
And that for me like changed like how I also like saw things now. As I started working on Photoshop. That's when I also started moving to Photoshop because the pictures were too big to edit.
Yeah.
On like the phone app. So I was like, no, let me try Photoshop. And then I started this Photoshop thing. You know, people told me that, hey, read this book and all that. And for me, I was like, hey, this is like a lot of work.
Yeah.
But let me like figure it out. Let me like try everything that's there on the app.
Yeah.
I started shooting like for events. I remember back to the city. Oh, I met Casper like a day before.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, man, I need a photographer.
Yeah.
And I have a show tomorrow, back to the city.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I don't mind coming to shoot.
Yeah.
He's like, no, just pull up to the venue. I'll sort you out with the tags and everything. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I remember I got there. And then I wasn't even like known. So I was like, I'm with Casper, what, you know?
Yeah.
And then now people are like, ish, nah, tell him to come fetch you. And I was like, it's tricky, you know? And then I met someone from back to the city. I told him, I spoke to him nicely. He's like, okay, I'll give you a tag. Go shoot.
Sure.
By then, Casper was like done performing. It was bad, but I was like, hey, since I'm here, let me just shoot some content. And then I shot. I got a picture of Stilo. That's when I was like, yo, actually,
this the guy. This guy is actually the guy.
Also, I was like, yo, I used to fuck with him like way back. I was like, yo, #1, big homie. You know? I started now posting these pictures and then I was like, hey, you know what? Let me hit up also artists. And then I decided to hit up Stilo. I was like, yo, I'd like to work with you. I don't mind anything. We'll figure everything out. And then it's like, okay, cool. And out of the blue, it's like, yo, send me your ID.
Sure.
Send me your ID number.
Yeah, it's like a miracle when you think about it.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, ID number.
What for now? Which one is this
one? Hey, I started calling my mom saying, yo, mom, don't send the ID number. Why do you need it so bad? And I was like, don't worry, mom. And then Stilo's like, yo, Friday we're going to Cape Town.
That's how it goes, buddy.
I was like, yo, I was shocked. I didn't know what to tell my mom.
Sure.
He said, okay, we're leaving at like in the afternoon. And I was like, hey, after school. And then I decided to say, I'm going to Cape Town with him. And then my mom called me saying, where are you? I'm like, hey, I'm in Cape Town. She didn't believe. I'm like, I'm taking pictures. She's like, nah, stop lying. Come home. Yeah, but then I was like, no, you'll see me Sunday. Don't worry, I'll come there Sunday. She's like, if you say so, sharp. Yeah, that's how I started also running with Stilo. Like,
and right now, for me, when I look at your work, I just love the fact that you're never complacent with your creativity. You're always pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
And these are not things you say with your mouth. I see them in your work. What makes you like that? What gives you that feeling of wanting to stand out?
I'd say Kilbro like took a big part in my life.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a dark city. That's why like most of my pictures are dark, you know? There's always that thing that stands out.
Sure.
Which is the light, the skin and everything. That for me is like the light. I can sense the tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And then I saw the light. So
I love it. I love it. And another thing that really blew you up is the photo you took of Meek Mill when he was here. When you told me about this Meek Mill story, I was like, damn, it was that amount of work that got you just those fire flame emojis, SE5. So can you just recap that story, like nice and short?
It was me, Isaac, and Vinny that day. Like we were so desperate to get like a picture with Meek Mill because we had the backstage pass.
Yeah.
So we were like, hey, we're getting this photo and all that. The bouncers were like, no, you guys can't be here. Hey, a lot of stuff happened. And I was like, hey, okay, cool. And then Isaac and I were like, hey, you know what, let's go in front there. Me, I'm like, Isaac, I'm getting this picture.
Sure.
Regardless, you know?
Sure.
I remember I also wanted like media tags. I didn't want to give us. Then Isaac decided to go to like the crowd. And I was like, hey, Isaac, please hold my bag. I'm trying to get this photo.
Shout out to you, Ike.
For me, the crazy thing is like the love I also got like from people that knew me from Instagram. They're like, yo, YS, you want to get this photo? Come in front, dog. Come, dog. You must get this photo, you see? And that for me is like, I tried so hard. I remember even Amp Cyclone was like, yo man, here's a lens. Try use this thing. But I tried, it was, you know, too big and all that. But I was like, hey, you know what? Let me stick to my 50, the prime lens. So that for me, like, when I got the shot, I showed Isaac. I'm like, Isaac, this is the one, dog. Isaac, this is the one. And Isaac was like, hey, why is this one? Come on. And I'm like,
was crazy.
I'm like, Isaac, if this guy doesn't post this photo, I'm leaving for 12. You can ask Isaac.
And then Meek did post the photo.
I remember like that photo was trending like during the day. Like it was trending. As soon as it hit like 10, like it stopped, you know? For me, I was like, I tried now, you know? I almost gave up, and then I saw Meek Mill's, like, I think his best friend. He was like, yo, he liked the photo. And I'm like, I open his account, I'm checking, I'm like, this guy's always with Meek Mill. And then a few minutes later, Meek Mill mentioned me on like the photo. Hey, I was shaking. I was shaking. Damn. I was like, yo, I didn't know what to do. As soon as I was trying to screenshot that thing, everything was like 99 plus.
Sure.
Followers, likes, comments, mentions. Like that shit for me broke like the internet.
No doubt it did, though.
Like,
I remember posting it when I saw it, because I saw the picture, but I didn't know you took it. When I found out you took it, I deleted everything on my Insta story. I was like, you're the only guy that needs to live on my Insta story right now. I was really, really proud also to have seen you just develop to where you are now. And you know I'm always in your DM, always telling you that it's gonna happen, just trying to give you that faith that no one gave me, you know? It means a lot to me to see what you're doing and where you've been right now. And I also want to shout out Stilo.
Yeah,
you know,
shout
one of
out
the
to Stilo.
one of the dudes that I love, and he's really also taught me how to be resourceful. He's one of the most resourceful people I know, and you have a lot of that resourcefulness in you.
Yeah.
Another thing I like about you is that you have an acute eye for clothes and a fashion sense. Now, a lot of people can only dress well. They don't accompany it with a skill. Into our Young Stilo is that you can put these clothes together and you have a skill. So now that you told me about Lorenz, who's your uncle in fashion, I understand it completely. One other thing I love about you is the way you invest back into yourself. Every time I see you, it's not just an item of clothing, it's a self-investment. Be it a chain, be it a new ring, be it a grill, be it a lens, be it a young, what do you call that thing that you shoot with?
The 360 camera.
The 360 camera. Yeah. I have never seen a young kid invest in himself like you, the way you do. And I know also with the clothing, it's not cheap, you know? So what gave you that mindset? Yoguti yazini, angivuke ngizenzele la.
For me, I remember I did like a stop motion video, a Nike one.
Yes.
That for me is like to change like how people also look at us, like in terms of how we dress and everything. Because for them it's like, we see you guys and all that. But for me it was like, no guys, also as we pop in. Like in the US, for me, most niggas in the US can't dress. They always like skinny jeans.
I'm with
you know,
with the little
vibe, you know?
small t-shirts.
You see, that for me is like, yo, also here we popping. It's like
hard too.
Too much. And for me, that also like changed like how people look at us from here, because I have like artists from outside that follow me and look at how, you know, and they're like, yo, actually, you guys are actually lit with the combos. Like, I remember even when XLVII,
yes,
I think you were there.
Yes.
He was like, yo.
He couldn't believe.
He couldn't believe. He's like, yo, niggas from Africa, you got stabbed.
Do you feel sometimes South Africa is too small for you?
Yeah, I feel like that, like every time, because me and the gents, we've been putting in like so much work.
Yeah.
But
the gents being him, Uncle Vinny, Illuminated Greens also goes by the name The Voice, and then obviously Isaac, who's the man that watches over everybody. That's the clique. Kutso.
For me to have like that team, really like, they push me a lot, and they always say, yo, you better do your thing, you know?
I love that camaraderie, you know? That you guys have. And I was hoping that it was exactly that, because a lot of people are obviously going to have ideas of what you guys should be doing. Yeah. And those people are entitled to their opinions. But if you guys don't do it for yourselves, it would be very dangerous to spend so much time together and not push each other and not, you know, really, really propel each other forward. Without just talking in private to you, I wanted to put you out on your pedestal and tell you that I think you're fucking amazing, and I have so much faith, and I have so much hope, and I have so much belief in what you're doing. And like we said, this is just my small way of saying I appreciate you. Please do not stop, please do not doubt, and keep going. Do you have plans of going overseas anytime soon?
Yeah, if not this year, next year.
Sure.
Thinking of going to London. I really like got like connection that side.
Yeah.
So I don't mind even going there for like a month, just to put out like content, create content and everything. Yeah, London and so many places. Like we're gonna start also traveling to Africa.
Yeah.
The gents.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Another thing that I loved that we were talking about was Gogukala. When you were starting, everybody was like, yo, can you edit like so-and-so? Can you edit like so-and-so?
Yeah.
Can you speak about the importance of finding yourself and finding your own voice?
For me, like, I won't lie, it was really tough because people and brands didn't like how I used to edit, you know, how I used to like portray like the stuff like I'm doing. For them it was like, hey, we want you to edit like so and so, do this and that. And for me I was like, no, if you want so and so, rather book the guy, you know, because that's not me. Like I like to have like my signature on it.
Yes.
And that for me, I can also like post on my page and say, yo, this is me, this is what I did.
Yeah.
Like what I did with also like the stem roll.
Showcase.
So,
that was beautiful.
So, yeah.
Cut to those stem roll clips right now.
Nah, sweetheart, don't worry about it. It's that splendor.
Yeah, I almost forgot what this was all about. Just to interrupt you fellas there for a second. My brother, on behalf of Catching Waves and Hennessy, I'd like you to have this bottle of appreciation. It's a limited edition, very special bottle. Hennessy does this thing where it collaborates with artists. It did one with Shepard Fairey, who is Obey, and this one is Faith. So this is the design that you did on the bottle. You not only get the bottle, but you also get Faith's book.
Ooh, it's crazy.
With all her work, and I'm sure as a creative that you are, you're definitely gonna appreciate this.
Oh, that is crazy.
It is really, really crazy. I don't even have one. Yo, nigga! What is up, everybody? Shout outs to people of the South. Shout outs to people of the whole world. Everybody at home might be like, why are you talking about the whole world? It's Catching Waves. Dude, I've got an international audience. I don't know about you. But anyway, we're not there. I'm sitting next to a lady whom I know from my radio show on YFM. She used to DJ the hour mix there, and then she's gone on to DJ at many other places, including this place that we're at today. And also, the big one was for you was Afropunk, wasn't it?
Biggest highlight so far. Afropunk closing for Skepta. That one was the best one. Yeah.
You closed for Skepta?
Yeah.
They might not know who she is. She's out there killing it on Instagram with her fits.
Lord,
Her name is Deniece Marz. So Hennessy does this thing where they collaborate with artists and the artist designs the box and the bottle.
Sure.
The last one that I remember them doing this with was Shepard Fairey, the guy who does Obey. And I was there and I still have that box and bottle. And then this one is done by Faith 47. She was from Joburg, then migrated to Cape Town, blew up in the graffiti world, and now she is in LA. And I thought to myself, man, I would love to talk to young creatives who are killing it. And I feel like it's my job to give you guys not your flowers, but your cognacs. So
Nice.
Let's have a little sippy sip while we talk, you know? So I remember when you used to DJ on the show, I would ask you so many questions and you always avoided answering them. So I hope today is a bit different.
Go there.
Is it going to be a bit different today?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's cheers up.
Sure. Easy.
Yeah, normally we do it at the end, but siqala ngayo, siphinde sivale ngayo. So Nisi, how did you get into DJing? You know, it is a very male-dominated arena. How did you get into it and why?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the why. So I've been like obsessed with music since being like, my dad is a bass player, my uncle is like heavy into hip hop and music in general. So I was always surrounded by music, literally 24/7. Every Saturday, my dad wakes up early to play his guitar. There's music playing in the house. So me being in anything in music was kind of inevitable because of that. As far as DJing goes, my brother is a music producer and a DJ. So he was like, yo, you listen to so much music, you got a wild collection.
Yes.
I'm gonna drop you virtual DJ and you do with it what you want to do.
What you please.
Yeah. So then I started doing it and playing in my room, and then he was like, you're getting good, cool. And then he was at one of his friends' gigs or parties or whatever. So my laptop was connected. Then the music just stopped because I was playing off iTunes. Then I was playing a song and then he put me on the spot. He was like, just play a set,
Wow.
And I was like, what? Bad, like. And there was quite a few people. It was at a rooftop somewhere in the CBD. There was quite a few people. He was just like, just go ahead, just do it. And I was like, what are you, mad? So I couldn't also just be like, nah. So then I did it, and yeah, literally since then, I've been playing all the time.
That's amazing, man. When you play, what do you like? What's the vibe you like bringing?
Oh, it really depends on what kind of night it is. At the end of the day, I'm also a DJ. As much as I like music,
Yeah.
the purpose of the reason why I'm a DJ is to like have a vibe for people to enjoy. So I can't just be coming in, even though I love, like my jazz music at 10 p.m. I can't be in Great Dane playing some jazz music.
For
Like,
sure.
it doesn't make sense. My taste is like so wild that I'm able to play anything at any time.
It's quite rare that people don't specialize, that they have such an array in their taste of music. Normally, you hear comedians saying, oh man, my first gig, I got booed off stage, blah, blah, blah. But it was different for you.
So different. It was so good. Yeah, but when I look back now, I'm sure it was nonsense. But but it was good. Like the people enjoyed the music and everything. So it was
And how did everything progress? I mean, from playing for your brother and then making a name for yourself. I always want to find out those nitty-gritties of the progression because apart from me and you speaking, there's so many other people listening and that are going to learn from what you're saying. So how did it progress for you to being this household name that you are today?
My friends from Varsity, the guys from Onyx were hosting a party at Kitcheners.
Sure.
I played there for their gig. That was my first proper gig. I played there and then it was at Kitcheners. Then I met Colleen, who curates a lot of events and stuff at Kitcheners and whatnot. So she was hosting a thing called Pussy Party, which is for female DJs and all that stuff. And so I was playing a lot of those parties. And yeah, that's when I started getting more known because I was there like almost every weekend playing something, somewhere, somehow. I was playing every week. Yeah.
When you talk to guys especially, you always hear and feel the hunger for world domination and success in their voices. You can feel the energy of wanting to take over the world. When I speak to you, it's different. The energy is, I'll get there. It's not like, it's like, you've got that.
Yes.
I'll take my time with it, but they'll know. Am I reading it right?
Yes, I think so. But it's not to say that I'm like, just chilling, laid back. Of course, I'm got my goals and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, I'm just trying to do me. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I ain't trying
It's
to
the
force
easiest thing
things.
to
You
do.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You said you got your goals, right? What are they?
I'm gonna say my end goal, my big end goal is just to be able to provide for my family and my children while still doing what I love.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to completely divert in order to look after my kids. I'd like to still be a stylist, a DJ and an event curator while still being able to look after my family and live nice.
What's been the biggest, not hurdle, what's been the biggest adjustment for you in your journey? Either an adjustment in terms of skill and your playing, or an adjustment in terms of character and the type of person you are to be in the field.
When I was doing the radio show, I learned so much there because I was so used to, my cousin calls people, he calls them, what? He calls them immortal technique hip hoppers.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah.
So I was one of them into hip hop, MF Doom. I don't listen to none of these trap music. Wow. Got into radio, and I remember I was being pushed a lot, like in the best way possible. Like now that I'm out of it, before I was just like, oh my God, they just want me. But now that I'm out of it, I'm like, damn, that's actually good because now I'm able to like play even better to even more people. Like
the more flavor, the better the food.
Exactly.
Talk to me about playing for Skepta and closing that. Like how did Afropunk come about? I'm always fascinated by also like how things happen because it's the phone,
Yeah.
What were you doing? Who called? What did they say? How did you feel?
Yeah, as far as Afropunk, like I said, I was doing a lot of stuff with Colleen and Pussy Party and all that stuff. So my first time playing with them was with Pussy Party.
Yes.
And then the second time I played was just me, just Deniece Marz. And yeah, that's how that came about. As far as Skepta, so it was the Red Bull Music Festival. I had been called for the gig, right? So initially, they sent me my times and they're like, yeah, you're going to be playing at this time, this time. I look at my text message and I'm like, oh, I'm playing at the same time as Skepta. Oh, no one's going to see me.
Sure.
Whatevs. And then Warren, one of the guys, when we're there, one of the guys, Warren, is like, Denise, you're playing, your time has moved, you're playing right after Skepta. I was like, oh my God.
Yo, that's your
Oh my
ancestors just
gosh.
working it out.
Bro, I was like, what? I was like, cool. Started playing outside. As soon as Skepta's done, people start coming out and enjoying the vibes. And they're like, oh, snap, like, we're not ready to go home type vibes, you know? Gang people start coming, like lots of people. Now it's too full in that little pop-up area. So like, all right, guys, we have to go move you into the main thing. So now, like, I'm still playing a set here, leaving my memory stick here, so that I can go and then play with another memory stick in the main stage and all this stuff. It was hectic, but it's probably one of my favorite sets ever, because I even, like, people clapped after the set and everything. Like, it was the best set I've had so far. And to think I was so nervous when I left home. I was like, no one's even gonna catch my set, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
As much as we love what we do and we do what we love, when I look at your gram, I see that you're very appreciative of things, that all things artful, you know? So what does it mean to you? Like, what does art mean to you? I know it's a loaded question.
It means so much to me. Like, I feel like it was a kind of prophesied onto me type of thing, because the way it moves through my dad and my brother and my uncle.
And that's exactly what it is.
Like,
sometimes joining the family business, and this is something that I'm learning now with studying a lot more African culture, and I'm very big in finding out what certain words are in African languages and then translating them to English, or translating English words to African language.
Yeah.
Because our languages are very doing word. Words are doing words, you know? For instance, the word for living, as in I'm just living, in Xhosa is ukuphila. The word for healing in Xhosa is ukuphilisa. That's why our old people were like ngiyaphila. Because if you are not healing yourself and you are not healing others, then you're not living.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And I say that to say this. I started off about family business and it was prophesied upon you. And you're right. It sounds supernatural, but it's very biological. People neglect the information and the heritage and the inheritance passed down to them from their DNA. So now, I've never done this in my life. And I knew asking you to be a part of these interviews, I'm going to sneak in a young DJ lesson. So could you please, you know, talk and walk us through this thing that is the selector, the DJ, and the party starter.
For sure.
Showcase.
For sure.
But before we do that, I got some gifts for you.
This is the box.
The box.
Done by Faith. The lady was from Johannesburg, then moved to Cape Town, and now she's a resident in Los Angeles. And she is a graffiti artist.
Listen to me.
And so I thought this would be so dope for you. But
So dope.
wait, there's more.
Oh.
A book
Okay.
with her work. Okay, there we have it in English. It's Faith 47.
47.
And I know you're gonna enjoy it. I haven't even looked through it yet, but I'm definitely sure that that's your vibe.
Sick. This is my
Right?
vibe. This is it. This is crazy. This is dope.
You're crazy and you're dope.
Thank you.
And I just really wanted to give you
Thank you, man.
those words right now while we're still around, you know?
I really appreciate it so much. And I'm also excited that this is a female. This is her thing.
Showcase. Now teach me how to DJ, man.
DJ. I'll
Teach me how to DJ.
Broadcast live